This black cat, which could not speak, was actually a jewel thief, and during the day, it obediently lay in the arms of its owner. But at night, it's the most dangerous phantom in all of Paris, in the moonlight. Together with the thief Nick, it puts luxurious jewelry in its own pocket and they are in moonlit Paris. Wander freely, and the cat will also bring back a gecko in the morning as a gift for the little owner. Since her father died, she has become autistic and no longer speaks, and only a nanny takes care of her daily life at home. Mom is always busy with work and doesn't have time to care about her daughter's sensitive emotions and feel neglected. Zona can only hug herself tightly and shrink in the corner, and then the kitten will slip into her arms, giving Zona the most precious companionship and warmth. The mother realized that she had always ignored her daughter's feelings, and she was sorry but helpless. Since her husband's unexpected death, the pressure of raising a family alone has made her particularly tired, after sorting out her emotions. She walks into the room and asks her daughter what she wanted to show her, and Zona grabs a gecko in the box. Mom subconsciously turned away and told her not to leave the carcass of the small animal in the room, and the reproach made Zona even more resistant. The mother and daughter were embarrassed and didn't speak again, and the nanny was about to leave work after eating, and when she passed by the sofa, there was a strong smell of perfume. Made the cat sniff and sneeze, and the babysitter looked back with cunning malice. Mom apologized for her attitude just now, and she knew that there was nothing more sad for a little girl than the loss of her father. Since her husband was killed by gangsters, the relationship between their mother and daughter has not been good, and she hopes that Zona can speak again. Call her mother gently, for the arrival of this day, she is willing to spend her whole life waiting. The warm intimacy made the mother and daughter forget the unhappiness in their hearts for a while, and the night outside the house became thicker. After stretching and getting ready to go hunting, the cat skillfully jumped off the windowsill. Gracefully wander from building to building, eventually arriving at Nick the thief's home, where Nick has already prepared food. After filling their stomachs, the pair set off on tonight's action in the darkness of the night. They shuttled back and forth between the houses, skillfully scurrying down the moonlit night, and the skill of cooperation had long since made them become the most tacit partner, and on a star-studded Parisian night, they are the most enchanting danger. Finding his target, Nick sneaks into the house and pockets the gold and silver treasures. As he was leaving, the cat suddenly spotted something more interesting, and Nick followed him into the house. In a room full of artworks, an eye-catching mask was found, and the moment it was taken off, the owner of the house was standing behind him, and Nick thought he was going to reveal his identity, but the man was just sleepwalking. Nick and the cat escaped without incident, and they returned home that night with a full load. When the cat was ready to go home, Nick gives it a bracelet as a gift, and the next day it appears in Zona's hand, the policewoman's mother. Seeing that the bracelet was inlaid with diamonds, it was worth a lot of money, so she asked where it came from, and Zona pointed to the cat and said that it had brought it back. Mom felt that she couldn't wear it casually, and the gift came from an unknown source, because there have been several jewelry thefts in the city recently. Zona takes the bracelet off to the police station for investigation, and her mother gives the bracelet to her subordinates to compare the jewelry records of the theft. Sure enough, it was found that this bracelet was one of them, and the police immediately launched a detailed investigation, and at the same time, in her mother's folder, Zona saw a picture of the thief Costa, who shot and killed her father. His mother was chasing him with all her might, vowing to take him to prison to avenge her husband, and the nanny on the side pricked up her ears when she heard this. As if trying to steal more valid information, on the other side, the police department held an emergency meeting and called the priceless giant statue. Exhibited at the museum in the near future, Costa will certainly find a way to steal the statue of the giant and keep everyone on guard while in transit. And that's true, Costa dreamed of owning a giant statue when he was 3 years old, and is now plotting with his accomplices. How to get this treasure in your hands? This night my mother went to the night shift, when the cat went out hunting. Zona also quietly followed all the way to Nick's house, and watched them jump onto the roof with agility, which made Zona stunned. On the way back, she actually bumped into Costa plotting to steal, and the eyeliner of the stealing gang was actually the family's nanny. Zona's whereabouts are revealed, and Costa and his accomplices immediately hunt her down, and Zona returns and escapes back to Nick's house. The cupboard in the last row was afraid to come out, and just as Costa was about to spot her, his accomplices called him away. It turned out that they found a large amount of gold, silver, and jewelry in this room, and everyone was excited. Zona was about to take the opportunity to escape, but was caught by the nanny backhanded, and the two sides argued. Nick and the cat just get home, and Zona asks him for help, taking advantage of the cat's scratch on the babysitter. Nick rescued Zona and said to her, "I need you to trust me. You're going to have to hold on to my shoulder. The tighter, the better." Nick runs away from the roof with Zona on his back, and Costa and his gang are in hot pursuit, and Nick tells Zona to take the path to escape. He went to divert the pursuers, and when the mission was over, Zona listened to him and turned to the grassy path. The thorn scratched the corner of his clothes, and Costa keenly discovered this clue and arranged for his subordinates to pursue him in 2 ways. Sure enough, Zona's whereabouts were discovered, and after passing a zoo, Zona escaped in a small boat. After narrowly escaping from Costa's forces and arriving safely at his destination, Nick manages to rendezvous with her. Unfortunately, the police investigated this community, and Nick was caught by the police as soon as he went out, and the jewelry in his bag was scattered all over the place, and the evidence was conclusive. Coupled with the crime of abduction, he was arrested on the spot, and Zona wanted to help him defend himself, but he couldn't say a word. The nanny added fuel to the fire after seeing Nick being arrested, lying that she had seen Nick rob the house with her own eyes, and confirmed many of his charges. Nick tried to defend himself, but no one believed him, and Zona struggled to shout when his mother was about to take him to the police station. "Mom." Unfortunately, it was too late, and Nick explained to the police that he was Zona's savior. The nanny and Costa are in the same group, but the police think and Nick takes the opportunity to pry the handcuffs open. After the cat helps him escape and stops the police car, Nick reminds his mother again to go home and check it out. Because Zona is in danger and then puts down her gun and runs away, Mom realizes that she has overlooked certain details. Hurriedly turned back with her subordinates, and when she opened the door, she found that Zona and the nanny were gone, which gave her a bad premonition. At this time, Zona has been kidnapped by the nanny, Costa's residence, and Costa wants to use Zona as a hostage to threaten the police. They obediently hand over the giant statue, and everyone is busy raising their glasses in celebration, but Nick and the cat are worried about how to find Zona. At this time, a pungent smell of perfume wafted out of the house, and the cat smelled a familiar smell. Following the smell of perfume, he found Costa's hiding place and saw Zona being guarded on the 2nd floor. Nick immediately cut the wires, put on the see-through glasses, and felt into the house in the darkness. Blatantly passed by the thief and slipped up to the 2nd floor to rescue Zona, but he didn't expect to go downstairs. The gangsters lit matches. "Guys, the man is here." After his whereabouts were revealed, Nick immediately jumped out of the window and fled, and Costa chased after him in a rage, and the two sides engaged in a fierce chase on the rooftop, escorting Zona to safety, and Nick confronted Costa alone. He was led to the roof of the building to fight, and the two sides fought fiercely with their bare hands, resulting in them falling off the roof together. When his life was hanging by a thread, he didn't forget to fight. Costa fell off a tall building by mistake, but he narrowly picked up a small life. And Nick was about to be unable to hold on, and the moment he fell downstairs, fortunately, his mother arrived in time, and Nick was rescued in a thrilling way. "Are you okay?" So, when did the police start saving the thief? The thief saved the child. Zona was caught by Costa, and when she ran away, the cat came to the rescue. On top of the tower on a moonlit night, Mama Nick and Costa fight each other, and during the fight, Costa accidentally falls off the tower. "Be careful. He's too heavy for me to grip. Don't move, I'm coming. Oh my god, what the hell is wrong with him?" I think he's completely insane when he's hanging on a sling like that. Costa on the sling has a near-death illusion and dreams that giants come to rescue him like a crushing city. As the giant opened its hands to him, Costa jumped down excitedly, thinking he could be saved. But in the end, it was still a life, and the cat smiled slyly, maybe this last illusion. It was its unknown masterpiece. The nanny and the rest of the gang were all arrested and sent to the police station, and Zona spoke again. Excitedly described to his mother that the wonderful experience of this night, but the words at this time were a little noisy. The moment Nick and his mother looked at each other, they showed indescribable tenderness and sweetness. The classic scene of a cop and a thief falling in love, which begins to play out at night in Paris, is all over, but it is also the best beginning.